When watching a sports contest, how many of us have ever heard commentators say at the end of the game, this team left it all on the field? Anybody? Oh yes, some of us, okay. Well, when a team does that, we feel proud of them and respect them for totally putting their skin in the game and giving an all-out effort. I believe this connects with the deeper scripture message today. Through the story of the widow who gave all she had, Jesus calls each of us to an all-out effort and a deep reach within ourselves. For the next few minutes, we'll talk about what this means and how important trust is in living it. I believe there are three necessary qualities of an authentic reach and an all-out effort. First is a willingness to gaze reflectively at who we are, putting on a contemplative lens and seeing ourselves as our loving God sees us, allows us to look deeply within. We need to know what we have and who we are before we can completely give of that. Second is profound trust that God will grace us with the energy and the ability to give ourselves away. The third quality is a willingness to step out of our comfort zone into uncertainty and let it unfold. A contemplative gaze within, profound trust, and stepping out of our comfort zone are all essential to the deep reach, all-out effort Jesus calls us to live. Every one of us could name people in our lives who have given all they had. I think of my mother, who died suddenly at age 53 of a heart attack. At the time of her death, and even now, decades later, I have reflected on what her life has really meant. For me, her greatest legacy was how she taught me to love. She gave totally from the depths of her being, and I learned from her love how to prioritize relationships, how to handle problems instead of that problems handling me, and the importance of good self-care. My mother's all-out effort reflected a deep reach of trust in God and a willingness to share completely the love inside her with family, friends, and community. Perhaps we could each ponder who the people are in our life who have lived the gospel message of giving their all. A second illustration is a recent one. Carly Lloyd, who has been a member of the U.S. women's national soccer team for the past 17 years, played her final international match just over a week ago at the age of 39. Did anybody see the game? No? A few of us, oh good, yeah, there's Joanne and a few others, okay. Well, the tributes to her for all that she's given to the game, the fans, and the community were quite moving. Although this was her night and her time to soak in the love and the stardom, she turned the tables in the locker room as she spoke to the younger players, saying, "This is about you. This is your opportunity to make something of this so that you can be on this team in the future." Player Andy Sullivan said in response. Moments like that, when Carly's interacting with younger players, are so meaningful. And she's just always pushing everyone to believe in themselves and give it their all. Carly gave her all, not just on the field, but as a mentor, a leader, and one who inspires others to be the best they can be. Carly Lloyd lived the gospel as she reached deep within herself, gave her all in every phase of her soccer career, and trusted her inner gifts and resiliency. As she retires from playing and now steps into a time of uncertainty, she again reaches into a place of trust. Carly says she is at peace as she moves into the next chapter of her life. Let us consider how we are being challenged to give our all in family relationships, at work, in service opportunities, in activities we enjoy, or in our neighborhood community and beyond. The last example I want to share is a difficult yet uplifting story from this past week's Philadelphia Inquirer. It highlights U.S. Representative Madeline Dean's son, Harry Pinane's struggle and recovery from opioid addiction and substance abuse disorder. Harry and his mother co-authored a book entitled Under Our Roof, a son's battle for recovery, a mother's battle for her son. Their harrowing stories reveal how addiction can steal a person's life and hollow them out. Harry and Madeline put their deep and painful struggles all on the table. They placed their skin on the page. In Madeline's words, we had one thing in mind. If we told our story and it helped someone, it would be worth it. Harry said it was daunting to not only stop using drugs and alcohol, but completely change his social interactions. He was afraid his life would be boring, but it wasn't. He went on to say, I've had more fun in recovery than I ever had when I was using. To be freed from that opened me up to do so much more. I built stronger relationships than I had with any of the friendships before that. Here was a deep reach within to enter recovery, to stay there, and now 9 years later, publicly share his and their family's experiences. Madeline and Harry trusted their story would help others and stepped out of their comfort zone to reveal the depths of their heart. Their all-out effort is a story of hope. Although these examples are all related to human interactions, I think it's important that we also recognize the all-out effort and trust we find in nature and in our animal friends, our beloved pets and wild creatures. These parts of creation have much to teach us about giving the all of who or what we are and trusting in the source of that gift. This week, I invite you to a quiet moment of deep reach within. Reflect on how God is calling you to an all-out effort in your life, and how nature may be teaching you about this. Remember that our loving God is holding your heart with every effort and reach you make.